In a game that's about as mad as a box of frogs, Jurgen Klopp's men have dropped yet more points in the title run-in. This drops them below Arsenal in the Premier League standings. And today we're going to take a look at how and why. We're taking a look at the mad game that is Manchester United 2, Liverpool 2. I think if you'd have asked anybody watching this game who should have won the match by the end of the 90th minute, everyone would have said Liverpool. And that's really backed up by some of the stats that we're going to look at here. They had just the majority of the possession and the majority of the real attacking momentum in the match. They created so many chances. Their link-up play was better. The way they drifted through the pitch was better. They had just a number of chances to be able to kill the game off. I mean, if we take a look at some of these stats, I mean, the actual real clear-cut chances were just incredible. 7 big chances, 5 of them were missed. And if we take a look at the first half just to begin with, they had 3 big chances, they missed 2 of them. It was just incredible. They had an XG of 1.66 and it was just so open for Liverpool. Liverpool were just so free. They had so many touches, so much time, so much space. Manchester United had, as you can see, had 0 goal expectancy because they didn't have a single shot. They were just completely and utterly dominated, but Liverpool failed to take their chances. And in the end, it really cost them. And it's these real kind of chances and opportunities that I'm talking about. Here we have Liverpool out on the attack. This is in the start of the match. We're not even 15 minutes in, I don't think. And already you see Manchester United extremely open, extremely spread. And you can see the 2 defenders. It's essentially almost a 3v2 at this point. Maguire's not in position. You've got Casemiro here. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's not in his position. The difference between Kobbie Mainoo and Casemiro is just way too far, and it's continuously on the transition. The Manchester United seem to find themselves always at odds with each other. They don't know whether to stick or twist. They push too many players forwards, and then they don't have enough going back the other way. This is a really well worked move for Dominic Szoboszlai. The pass goes in here, and then he manages to run onto it and be able to take a shot. But I think he should do a little bit more with this chance. If you look at the space between him and the closest Manchester United player in essentially Casemiro, I just think that Dominic Szoboszlai should do far too much. Dallow's occupied with the extra run, which means that Szoboszlai essentially has a free run onto goal. And yes, he's going to be closed down, but I think he's got enough time to really compose himself a little bit more and then maybe take an extra touch to be able to finish it, or at least work the goalkeeper that little bit more. In the end, he does manage to force a save out of Andre Onana, but I just think it requires a little bit more. He needs to do a little bit better. It's a good save, don't get me wrong, but generally it was so open for Liverpool to try and carve through this Manchester United defence. They should have scored a lot more. This is another chance that I just want to highlight as well. We have Mo Salah here on the ball. This essentially becomes a 5v2. Again, from a transitional move, a transitional play, Manchester United lose the ball and then Liverpool really go and counter on the other way. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, nearly 5 Liverpool players onto 2 Manchester United players, and it just becomes so difficult for Man United to be able to cover the space. It moves on and it passes over to Luis Diaz, who is able to play the ball through into Darwin Núñez. Now, I really like Darwin Núñez. I'm going to talk about how good I think he can be. We've done a video on why he is a title race game changer as well, and I just think that he needs to do so much better here in this situation. There are so many clear-cut opportunities that Liverpool have, but it's this one that really sticks in my mind. Darwin Núñez has the simple, small pass to line up towards Dominic Szoboszlai. He needs to play him in. He has to play him in, but instead, he almost plays a nothing pass. He crosses it again towards Diaz with so much pace he's never going to get there. It just doesn't do anything. He needs to play in Szoboszlai to at least get the goal. It's nowhere near good enough. If you're not going to be able to take that pass, you need to finish. You need to score. And it was just so many wasted chances from Liverpool. They seemed to tighten up in real intense moments. They failed to really make the most of these gravitational situations that really came about. And it was through this that I think Manchester United had a better in to the game. Just on Manchester United from a more defensive point of view, I actually thought the back four did an alright job. I know Wan-Bissaka gave away the penalty, but I thought Dalot onto Luis Diaz was actually quite a good duel. If we take a look at some of their stats, Diaz only won 7 out of his 20 ground duels. Now that's due to a number of circumstances, but Dalot actually ended up winning 6 out of his 9 ground duels. And that's down to the real intensity that Dalot had. He's been Manchester United's best performer for quite some time. And I actually thought that Kobbie Mainoo, yes, he got his goal and it was fantastic, but from a defensive point of view, I thought he was quite good. He won 9 out of his 8 ground duels, obviously getting that massive goal. And I thought with everything that was being asked of him from a defensive point of view and a positional point of view, onto the likes of Endo, onto the likes of McAllister, I thought he did an okay job. I thought Casemiro was left on the island a lot of the time due to Mainoo and Fernandes pushing themselves forward a little bit too much. I thought Rashford did okay, but generally it was this midfield man that really stood up again and was counted for. Bruno Fernandes did obviously a very good job of being defensively aware in the second half, and obviously he gets his goal, but it's just the setup and the game plan from Man United's point of view that's so easy to break down. From a positional point of view, you can see they're just bunched up here together. They don't really have enough space. They're not coordinated enough. They're all a bit of a mess. When you compare that to Liverpool, look at the way they're spread. You've got McAllister and Endo here. You've got Szoboszlai going a little bit further forwards. Robertson really taking an attacking, forward-thinking role. Bradley got substituted, but he was really on it. And then you've got the front three who are stuck within the width of the penalty area, making sure they're making those inland runs. I thought that Liverpool were really good in this game, apart from that final pass, apart from that final shot. And it's really showcased in some of these moments. They had 15 shots in the entire game, or in the first half I should say, but only 4 of them on target. And in the entirety of the match, 28 shots. Again, that's something to be said about Manchester United, but only 7 of them were on target. Really flinching in those final moments, an XG of 3.59. And then when you talk about the goals, yes, the first goal was really well worked, poor defending from Manchester United, but the second goal, they needed to rely on a penalty. And in this game, when you're playing a side who are so inferior to you, and let's be honest, Manchester United are so inferior to Liverpool, I expected Liverpool to take it up a notch, to take up another level, another gear. Manchester United don't deserve to be on the same plane as Liverpool at this current point in time, but it didn't look like that. The moments of brilliance that came through from Bruno Fernandes and Kobbie Mainoo really did highlight the real, not scarcity, not they weren't scared, but they did tense up, they did flinch, and yes, they managed to get into their rhythm later on in the game, but it was almost a little bit too late for that final goal. And that needs to be said about Liverpool. The mentality monster shift that is in this side, I thought wasn't really too apparent for at least some of this game. But let's talk about the goals. So this is Liverpool's first goal. They obviously get it in the first half, and I just want to highlight a couple of things. Kobbie Mainoo is meant to be marking Luis Diaz, who ends up being the goal scorer, but he just looks so uncertain of himself. Yes, he's holding on to Diaz, but he just looks a little bit out of sorts. There was another moment in another corner where Mainoo was asking Maguire where he's meant to be marking, where he's meant to be playing, and there wasn't really an answer, so it doesn't seem like he's his man. And in the end, Diaz spins. Mainoo is left in no man's land, which we'll see in just a second. And when the corner actually comes in, this is the good part of Darwin Núñez. This is why I really like him. This is why I really rate him. He creates chaos in the box and he manages to get his head on it. This is an extremely difficult header. We need to be talking about this as well, because I don't think enough was made about it in commentary. This is a ridiculous header to be able to actually keep the game flowing, keep the game ticking, making sure that you're getting that first touch, but also passing it on to your teammate, making sure you're getting a knock on, keeping it alive. And this is something, while he can't score, Darwin Núñez does so well to be able to get this and just keep it alive in the box. It causes absolute chaos for Manchester United, and obviously it falls to Luis Diaz, who managed to finish with quite a nice little scissor kick there. But it was from Núñez being that selfless player, keeping the ball alive from that corner kick, that allows Liverpool to get that goal. Manchester United were at 6s and 7s, not really defending properly. Kobbie Mainoo was left on an island. If we just take a look at that again, Mainoo isn't really attacking, is not really defending. He lost his man here in this particular piece of play. If he's not meant to be marking him, that's fine, but he still lost his man, and that is crucial in massive scenarios where every single second counts. While I do think a lot of this is down to Liverpool not being able to take their chances, I do think we need to give Manchester United some flowers as well. If we take a look at some of the actual duels that they had in between this game, or in between each other, you can see Man United won 59 duels compared to 47 for Liverpool. Liverpool obviously won more aerial duels, but that just shows the combativeness that Liverpool and Man United have. had, and the real level that Manchester United really managed to get to in this game. Yes, they were nowhere near as good as their counterparts on the other side, but generally, I actually thought they were okay at being just a general combative force. Tactically, they were set up pretty appallingly, but overall, I thought they contributed enough to a game to maybe warrant getting something out of it. Don't get me wrong, I think Man United will be delighted with the point considering how they played in the first half, and I think Liverpool will desperately be thinking that it's 2 points dropped. But generally, Man United with their goals, their individual brilliance, and their combative nature to really win those duels against those Liverpool players, I thought was okay. From a Marcus Rashford point of view, I thought he did an alright job in trying to get down the wing. I think it was handled quite well by the likes of Conor Bradley and Jarrell Kwanzaa. Rasmus Højlund didn't really offer all too much, but if you take a look at the actual average positions, you can see that Højlund drops in a little bit deeper and it allows him to just help out with that midfield battle, and it made it a little bit more difficult for Liverpool to play through Manchester United, pushing them out wide where they were pretty comfortable in just taking those crosses. Generally, it was an okay performance from Manchester United, given the circumstances, given the fact that they didn't capitulate, and it's a pretty low bar to have them at, but they need to start somewhere, and there was at least something for a Manchester United fan to look at and think, yeah, there was something in this game, and obviously they're going to be happy that they took 2 points away from their major rivals. But now let's finally talk about the Manchester United goals. When you talk about individual brilliance, I don't think you could have two better examples than the two goals I'm about to show you right here. Jarrell Kwanzaa is about to play the ball into Van Dijk. He messes up the pass. It's a mistake. It happens. It's okay. But Bruno Fernandes really does pounce on it quite well. If there's something you've got to give Bruno Fernandes, it's the willingness to really make those runs, make the ability for them to really get there and to be able to try to make something happen. In the end, he sees Kelleher off his line, tries to go for a shot, and it ends up working out perfectly. But it's this one that I really want to focus on. Kobbie Mainoo is currently being surrounded by 3 Liverpool players in the middle of the box. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka actually plays quite a good pass into him, but it's really rifled into him, and he stops the ball really well, and it allows him to turn in that singular motion, really stopping any kind of Liverpool player from getting too close to him. He then whips it in to that top right hand corner, and it's an absolute beauty. Continuously, he is showcasing his improvement and his ability to really make it at the biggest stage. He was, for me, Manchester United's point of view, my player of the match, and generally I thought he probably was in and around some of the best players on the pitch, just from both sides. Jurgen Klopp is going to be furious that they dropped 2 points, but I actually thought it was a pretty entertaining game, a mad game. A completely mad game. But my question to you guys is, how did you see it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. Are you a Man United fan or are you a Liverpool fan? How did you see the game play out? And are you happy with the result? Get in the comments, get involved, and let me know. Thank you very so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something new, and I hope to see you in the next one. But until then, my friends, take care.